Streaming everywhere now. Just okay. In the meantime, maybe we would come back to this during our discussions. We think that we want to acknowledge the uh, unity and the organization that is our fighters on the ground, our soldiers are beginning to build among themselves across the southern Cameroons territory. This is something which is going on in an organic manner. I think the light is also shining on them. It has taken time for them to get to where they are, but we are very grateful to God that they are by themselves beginning to appreciate the peril in which they are. They are beginning to appreciate the manipulations which many had talked about and called out from the diaspora, and are beginning to turn things around on the ground. So we want to salute them, and we want to thank them, and we want to continue to call for a cessation of kidnappings. The kidnappings are still a problem, maybe not as frequent, but still exists in many communities. So we want to call on our fighters on the ground to desist. Kidnapping is one of the things that turns the community against the struggle or against the fighters. And it is something we get a lot of complaints about. But we hope that those commanders will bring the fighters under them who continue to perpetuate these kidnappings to desist from that. Otherwise, we thank them, we recognize their valor, and we will do everything in our power as Southern Cameroonians without regard to political affiliations or creed to continue to support them.
I have 9 minutes to go.
Yes.
And I think, as usually my sense is those people who come early are usually people who, they're usually the core of any organization, any group. And I think as we start thinking about how we're going to reflect about 2022, I think it really becomes all of us to really think what was wrong with the way that this revolution has been prosecuted. Over over the past years. And I think there are a few areas that one can highlight and let people reflect on as we get there. One is the politicization of banking loans, whereby people have actually those who one way or the other, either clean or really send often pottery sums of money to some of these brave young men and women have decided to lay their lives on the line. They always ask of them allegiance to their personalities rather than to the flag. And if we can be able to really find and uncover fighting force from politics, from individuals, then it gives us more opportunity to fight and to build a unified defense force. And really, that doesn't mean that people individually may not have persons or political figures that they want to support. But let's take the lead from the so-called developed countries. And many of these countries, the idea is that the military is apolitical. And that doesn't mean that the military doesn't vote. The military votes. But when it comes to discharging and get the duties of the state, yeah, to me, this is one critical thing that we lost. The other thing that I see is the idea of, and I know there's so many good men. He said that by everybody else, so that it's become almost a zero-sum game where people think in order to win, the other person must lose. We can all into these various factions, whether it is the IGK, the IG, the, the so-called big IG, the AFC, the people that are not affiliated. What you're going to realize is that there are elements within these structures that are good, and there are elements that are bad. Our challenge is how can we be able to extricate those good challenges, those good aspects, and then come together and then build something that we will end. And, some of the things that we core challenges that we have. And of course, a lot of the other things that we are having are rather symptoms of a problem. They are rather effects. And these are the true causes of what those problems really are. And I think that once we are able to politicize the military and make them our fighting force, once we are able to realize any one of these things and actually look at what we can do to build institutions that would be controlling men and not men controlling institutions, then I think we really can build from there and then. So I just wanted to lay that out there so people begin to reflect on it. So when the time comes, it will not be about, unifying one or the other, or maybe, and so on and so forth. But it would be about thinking through along in this way. So other things will be discussed as we go ahead. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Dr. Edmond. And to what you said, that is very true. We have to begin to train our fighters to depoliticize themselves and fight for the land and fight for the flag, which we are beginning to see them do. They are also beginning to reach out for support because they themselves are realizing that these political organizations alone are not giving them everything they need. And they are now willing to accept assistance from wheresoever it comes from, and no longer just from one organization or the other, which is a good sign. I think it's beginning to chip away at the politicization of our fighters. Thanks again for that. We have 4 minutes to the top of the hour. Secretariat, do you think it's time for the rules? Or do we have time for somebody to... Okay, if you want to go ahead.
I'm going to share my screen. The rules of this Southern Cameroon International Council. The guest speakers have 20 minutes for their opening remarks. Please take note so that you can easily identify the point you provide. All questions shall, as a matter of principle, be addressed to the moderator. State your name and tell your camera on before asking your question if possible. Please be polite, respectful, and avoid foul language. After the speaker is through, the moderator will take the number of questions in the specified order. Participants are asked to put their hands up and put it down after. To enable others have a chance, please ask only one question at a time. All microphones must remain muted. The speaker has only 1 minute to ask a question. The guest speaker will answer a cluster of questions at a time. And if there is any time left, more questions shall be taken. At the end of the meeting time committee, there will be allowance for individuals to make observations. No bullying, no insults. Anyone using the channel and receiving will be stepped down. We are also carried live on satellite TV, SCBC, and streaming on multiple platforms. Please, when done, turn your camera on if possible. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Secretariat. We are now going to officially go into today's agenda. I was just setting it up here. We have on our hands young Southern Cameroonians whose lives were cut short by La République. And so we want to pay a special tribute to them. We will begin by again observing a minute of silence before we talk about them. If you don't mind, Secretary, thank you. So we remember just before Christmas, the military, Paul Biya Ngongo Ferdinand Military of La République du Cameroon, went into Ngomgam, and at the end of their raid, we lost two little girls. Unfortunately, we were not able to get the pictures and the name of one of the two little girls. If anybody has that information, we would like to acknowledge them because our children are not statistics. We always like to recognize them and know them and call them by name. So on our screen, that's the picture of Blessing Mezo. Blessing was just 3 years old. She was at home, and she was one of those who was killed in Gongam. By the time in the same compound, that's Blessing. By the time they were done with their raid, we want to extend our condolences to the family of little Blessing Mezo, who was killed by La République. By the time they left, her sister who was in the house, that's Naomi Tewa, another member of the house, where it was just random shooting. It wasn't targeted. They were just out to get anybody they could, as many as they could. She was shot in the hand. She is 16 years old. So we observe them today, and we continue to send the message to the international community of the barbaric war waged against Southern Cameroons by La République du Cameroon. When an army goes into a residential area, a civilian residential area, and engages in a random firing spree, it is a deliberate act of genocide, looking to kill anybody they can. And indeed, did they get what they went there for? Killing 2 3-year-old toddlers and shooting a 16-year-old in the hand. Since the Ngomgam some killings, La République went back to Chomba this time. We do not have the images of the victims in Chomba, but we do have the names, and we, as I said, we like to call them by name. We lost Chi Apollo, we lost Tiku Solange, we lost Swiri Franca, we lost Sakwa Bright. Those were the four lost in Chomba. Innocent civilians, not fighters, not Amber boys, killed randomly, and their only crime, as far as the Paul Biya Ngongo Ferdinand army is concerned, is that they are Southern Cameroonians. It is proof to us again that La République is not at war fighting Amber boys. They are out to kill Southern Cameroonians. We would open the floor if there is anybody who wants to contribute during this tribute moment. We would ask one of our mothers in the house, any of our mothers who wants to lead us in prayers for the repose of the souls of our children.
Mr. Moderator, just a quick thing. We start calling this human engineered monsters initials. So I don't think that they're qualified to call an army. Yeah, the BR, in the BR, Ferdinand Bongo has an initially that is actually worse than what we see with the Janja, than what we saw with the Janja initial in Sudan. And I just want us to really start describing them by terminology that fits them.
Thank you, Dr. Edmond. Again, we cannot talk about our children without remembering them in prayer, but we think it is befitting for one of our mothers to lead us in prayers for the repose of the souls of our children. Do we have any of our mothers who would pray for us or pray for our children? If not, then I would ask any of the fathers in the house. Thank you.
Dear Father, we are so grateful that you are the author and the finisher of life. Whether you created Amazonian or that easily. And Father, we know you understand the times in which we are facing an existential threat. Father, thank you because you are omniscient God, you are omnipotent God, you are omnipresent God. We come before you as crying children, needing comfort from you. Thank you that there is absolutely nothing that you don't know. We appreciate the fact that you brought us so far up to this distance. But we know you will not leave us on the way. You will bring us to unexpected end. We thank you, Yahweh, because you know the parents, the mothers, the fathers, the brothers and sisters who are mourning at this time because they lost a dear one into the hands of this crisis and the hands of these people I cannot describe. Father, we thank you because you are God who watches over the oppressed. We thank you because you promise to fight for the oppressed. Father, we thank you because we know you are watching. We say you are the watchman of our nation. We are not kidding, Lord. Because if you were not watching, we don't know where we will be this time. Considering that we've paid taxes, those taxes have been used to buy the guns that are bring back into our territory to kill us. Father, thank you for watching over us and protecting us. We bring back the rest of the future of our nation, our people, into your hands. Trusting you, Father, that you will not pass us by, but that you will watch until you bring us to an expected end. King David cried to you, and Father, you answered him. The prophets of all cried to you, answered them, and you yourself told us that we should knock, you will open. We should ask and we will receive. We should seek you, we will find you. That's why we cannot start a meeting like this without bringing all to you, presenting even those who are coordinating us to you, Lord, that you will grant us wisdom and courage to be able to overcome this moment. Thank you, Lord. We pray for all those who are in one way or the other, that you will bless them with wisdom and courage also. In Jesus' name,
Amen. Amen. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that prayer. Thank you very much. We had hoped to get our artist whose songs have become our Cry Die songs. She couldn't be here. However, we have her recording. And, oh, she's here. Oh, great. Wonderful. Wonderful. Secretary, could you spotlight where are you? Could you turn here? Oh, okay. 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 Yes. Now, what do you want us to do? Do you just want to do it live, or did you want to do playback?
I would do live because I want to recording in progress. I want to first of all start with children because I suspect the big why maybe the ladies were not able to pray. Because when I was looking at the children, I kept trying to put the pictures up because this is not what we've done. So I want to sing
Yes. Yes. Do we
Can we just mute everybody? Somebody was actually talking
okay.
talking
Comrade, okay, I muted everybody. Comrade Celestine, are you there? Could you unmute yourself? Comrade Celestine.
And the artist is talking.
Okay.
It's the one.
Okay. Yes. Okay, thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you. This song, I will, if I'm allowed, I will sing later the songs for the prisoners.
Yes.
The songs for the children. I hope I can deliver. It's called Baba. It's a cry to God. It's an organ. It's a cry to God, and telling God that the children are dying. Our children are dying right in front of us, and we don't know what to do. I'll sing that and I'll sing another one just together. They are both the same, and it's for me very important for all of you to sing, especially because I'm with you all here. Baba, oh Baba, ni ko kusaya. Baba, ni baju ga ulemio. Baba, oh chila binu chako oh. Now I'm singing to the people who are and I'm asking them, what did the children don't want to listen.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That was so moving. And thank you for being there for us and really, really bringing out the feeling we need to be feeling at this time. Thank you so much. Thank you, and thank you so much. And we know it's tough. We are all sharing the tears. It's tough. I think our children should be very, very honored and watching from above. Again, we lost the little girl on the screen. That's Blessing Mezor. We unfortunately couldn't get the name or the picture of the other toddler who was killed. And then we have the 16-year-old who was shot in the hand, Naomi Tewa. And in Chumba, we lost Chi Apollo, we lost Tiku Solange, we lost Swiri Franca, and we lost Nsakwa Bright from Chumba. And we are paying a special tribute to them today. If anybody wants to say anything, just unmute yourself, please. We don't want to run this thing. This concerns all of us as Southern Cameroonians. So everybody is being given a chance to say something. Okay, Charles Agbo, your hand is up. Go ahead. Unmute yourself. Okay, you're muted.
Yeah, thank you very much for the presentation. I'll just like to add that perhaps we can run an alternative Nations Cup, which will involve every day that the teams are playing and taking assignment to send all the gruesome pictures and images to not federation, that they should know how divided the country is, that the country is. Sports may find secret, that no country that is divided think that they're playing football. They're playing football by the law of people. So it should be an alternative Nations Cup. Every day, teams that are playing that are supposed to send pictures to this. That's all I want to add.
Thank you so much, Comrade Charles. I think that is a very, very good idea. We should. Last count as of mid December, the Confederation of African Football had accredited 59 different international media houses. So this means that they will be given visas to come and cover the games because CAF has accredited them, and Cameroon cannot then stop them from coming to cover the games. We have been calling for international attention, and now we have media houses in Cameroon that BIA cannot very well control. It is important for us to take advantage, and who knows, maybe there are more of them now than there were mid-December, but that was the last count we got, 59 media houses. This is our opportunity to make a statement. Even if they came in to cover football, if there are other things happening, they will not all ignore. We have to put it in their face so that even if they're writing about football, let them write about the conditions in which the football is taking place. I think that's a very good idea. But there is no one organization to do that. It is on all of us to do that, whether on Facebook, whether on Twitter, whether sending it directly, however we get it across, it is on all of us to make that commitment. I thank you. Thank you, Congress. I don't know if there's anybody else who has something to say before we conclude our tribute to our children in Chomba and Ngomdam, and those who died before them. We cannot forget baby Caroline, baby Brandy, baby Martha, the Ngabus, Kumbas, all those who have died. We remember all of them today.
Moderator, it's sometimes one feels like what Americans would call the Groundhog Day, which is you get up every day just to have the same thing repeated over and over again, and it becomes quite emotionally draining to really find words, to describe this act of barbarism that is actually unleashed on us people by the humanitarian monsters of the Congo and the US militia, Urupeti militia, that are masquerading for an army. It's sad, but this is the reality we live in. And I think again we hear about 26 of us, and then by the end of this week, if past is prologue, we will have about 4,000 or 8,000 sometimes on Facebook alone, then the thousands and thousands of people that are watching live on SNs. And I think every one of us has just got to make sure that the lives of these angels doesn't go, in vain. I think that sometimes God is just telling us something. Those that are still in the mindset of, or maybe stop in that whole mindset of, yes, maybe these people can change. Those people just don't need, they don't need to look any further than see this carnage. They don't look to see any further than see the infanticide taking place on our shore, collective punishment. And if anything, it should give us the resolve to say there is one Amazonian that in that stand that will be a free Amazonian. And I think that is the only language that the monsters of language enabled by their puppet masters, the French, would understand. Any other language else they don't understand. And I think in between this, if anyone saw there was a very rewarding short video clip circulating the other day with some of these, so again, some of these human engineered monsters were actually somewhere, I believe they're probably with Cambodia also, with their military, with their uniform, in French, taunting us and telling the people that we are here and that they will force that people to come to. And I don't want to call it unity. The word is they will force as slaves to acquiesce, to obey. And always we remember that even though um, force might have been most slaves, the first slaves, but what perpetrates slavery is cowardice. And I think, again, let us all take a resolve here as we see this, and this is where I am now. I have no more tears. My tears are all drying out. I think there are many more rituals now in Amazonia than the ones that were described in the Bible. Because almost every day you hear a cry. Whether you can replace Ramallah with any number of villages in Amazonia. And those cries, you can't wipe out their tears because, those children, they have to wait for their children and those children are not coming back. They will never be the same. I mean, how do you think you see baby now? I mean, just a little kid now, maybe 16 years old. Is actually who has lost sisters to this carnage. I mean, you may see this young girl standing there like a human being, but her soul probably has been written out. As we think, let us think about the many people who walk the streets of Southern Cameroon, who are now walking the streets of Southern Cameroon. And many yet who may walk, yet who may just be walking in the shadows because their soul has been ripped up by this evil. So our work is cut out for us. And we will continue to pray for them. But I think the better prayer is the resolve to say, your life shall never be in vain. And that's where I find myself. And I hope that every one of you will actually move into that direction and not only talk the talk, but walk the walk.
Thank you very much, Dr. Edmond. And I think we all share in your message. We would just, commend their souls into the hands of the good Lord and continue to pray for them and continue to pray for the protection of those who are still alive today. We thank you, Dr. Edmond. So as we move on from this tribute phase, we will now go to our prisoners.
Can I take something at this tribute before we go?
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
What is call for action to all of us Amazonians. We can sympathize. We can feel sorry for ourselves. What is happening? By the way, my name is Pastor Asobo. I'm speaking from California. What that means, our children are unable to defend themselves. Our mothers and grandparents are born in homes who are unable to defend themselves. And we have been told these 5 years plans. The best thing we can do for our children is to defend our territory. When the bully comes your way, and it comes many times, there is a time in life that you have to gather some strength and face that bully. Cameroon is not joking. There is no, for 5 years, when Cameroon has come out one day after the killing of our children, and say, oh, sorry, you are our brothers and sisters, oh, we apologize for the incident that maybe the military and incidentally did something. How many times have we heard that from Cameroon? Second, we have always been the ones upholding unity and looking for yet God's against and killing us. Are we going to continue to be cowards? To watch it happen and they will come and talk, to watch it happen and they will come and discuss, to watch it happen and they will come and sit around and cry, to watch it happen. We are there. There was a time that all the men cowered, and there was a woman called Deborah. She rose up and defended the nation of Israel. My friends, my brothers, the struggles 5 years, and they have just recently gone to Trumba and killed our brothers and dumped them in front of us to watch. I'm talking just about the last one and the nature of their death. And this sometimes is orchestrated by some of us. And we watch it and we say we are sorry, we are brothers, we want to come together. Brethren, it is time. If you are true leaders, leaders don't come. Leaders face this circumstance well. If you can't hear, continue for scratch and answer your football rot. You have to remove Cameroon is a thorn to our flesh. It's been for 61 years and 62 plus. How long shall we sit and watch every day? Let me say one thing before I leave. There is confusion in their territory. They themselves are not united like we should be. If we come together now, when they are confused, when they cannot harness themselves, when they cannot put themselves together, when the Tibetans are fighting to be in power, the Islam, the Muslim people are fighting to be in power, the Americans are fighting to be in power, it is time for us to hit them hard because they don't have that access now to come together. But we can come together, together and face this enemy. My brothers, when I'm speaking here, I'm speaking like I don't want to call names because it will become some kind of choosing somebody or choosing somebody. You guys are thinking well. I know that we want to be free. We want to be free. Know that there is nothing that will help us and fortify our boys who are in the bush. are fighting with those guns, with bullets, every day, every morning. We are talking about the football game that is going to take place. How are they going to defend us if they don't have ammunition? Where are they going to get the ammunition to use it to defend us? If we are speaking over here and we cannot come to we cannot look at this strong force and be part of it.
Pastor, I don't want to cut you, but we have another segment for that. Right now, we just want to pay tribute and then honor our prisoners of conscience, and then we are coming to that subject.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, like I said, brethren, let's not be cowards and let's stop playing games on ourselves. Please. Okay. God bless you.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you. So before we come back to what Pastor Asobo just eloquently put out for us to come together and support our fighters on the ground, the second part of the program is dedicated to our prisoners. We are going to share. Sorry, let me share this image so that it is on while we speak. I do apologize, I didn't have it ready. Comrade Celestine, before we bring in Prof, I don't know if you wanted to say something. Okay. I don't know why this thing is not showing on my screen. No, I was asking if you wanted to say anything about our prisoners of conscience before we bring in Prof. Now, this image I have on the screen is not recent, but the conditions are the same, if not worse, than where our fighters and our innocent children and brothers and sisters are living in Kondengi. This was a live picture. That prison is beyond overcrowded, that some of them are now being moved to other areas we never knew our people were being moved to, like to Yoko. Yoko is somewhere going in the center province, going towards Adamawa up there. After Mbam, for those of you who know the old Yaoundé Bamenda road, you go through Mbam and you get up to Yoko. It's somewhere there in the middle of nowhere. Some of them are being moved to Balmayo. And if we do not pay attention, many of them are dying every day. There are some days where we get numbers as many as 7 people die, and they're just taken and dumped somewhere. Some days 3 people die, some days 2 people die. Sometimes when we have somebody in prison and then they are taken out of there and we say we don't know where they are, we don't know where they have been taken, they are dead and they've just been dumped somewhere. That is how evil La République is. They have their people in there, but that is their problem if they want to sit quiet and just let their own die and perish. Like the pastor said, we cannot be cowards, we cannot be afraid. At some point we have to stand up. So we are not going to dive too much into it today because, as I said, there is a program which Yamagi Kilo will be talking about later to launch a global campaign. But for today, we are going to hand over to Professor Carson Ayangwe, who has written some memoirs. Comrade Celestine, I will give it over to you to take it from here. And we also have our sister who has some songs dedicated to um, our prisoners. And maybe you want to tell us more about our sister before we go, before we hand over to Prof.
Okay, greetings, comrades. Thank you so much for coming out. Yes, our sister who just sang my beautiful voice. Um, she does her own activism through her voice because there are times when you cannot just do anything than thinking of another way to see how you could call attention. And I think her angelic voice, our own very acting girl, is so piercing when you hear her saying that it attracts, I think it calls for that attention because her melody is something that we are used to hearing from the later Miriam Makeba of South Africa. And she also was doing similar thing about the appetite going out there, crying and calling for attention, and they will give her the activism, all sorts of things that have been calling us today. So our sister here was active in the struggle. She's here in Europe, still member and powerful capital, and Mama both of them our honorable government, and she was down the wife, health-wise, and she's back and have her is number one, and if I'm not mistaken, that she has been down, and we can see God has done marvelous for her. She did not kill, no smoke, quite something, but not her voice. And I am so proud to have her here back, and I tell her that the divine victory is on her, and she has a lot to do that she has not completed until we get here. Just a little bit of one phrase about her. Our sister Omi Amita is a Southern Cameroonian singer whose sole purpose is to use her voice to sensitize and engage the conscience of the world to the suffering of people in the Southern Cameroons and of peoples all over the world. Omi has sung for industry leaders, statesmen, and world leaders like the late Archbishop Emeritus Desmond Tutu. Her voice is a force on its own. Her singing tells of the need of the hour. Now just a little bit of intro on what our sister is, and I know she's on her feet now and I'll get to meet her often, both through the media and physically. So maybe one she can travel to other continent. So we are so happy to have her here. And then I don't know if she will sing now or I just wanted to introduce Prof. Sister Barbara, give us one minute for Prof coming. Okay. I think I can start with this song for the there's one softer one I wrote that I'll sing the one that you play because I have a decision. That's what you want to hear. Thank you. It's called Konengi, and Konengi is just symbolic of all the other places because I couldn't call all the names, so I called one that that's most recognizable. And I was saying I never expected that to I haven't heard what a brother just said now. It makes more sense to me that song I realized it really is reflecting on what is happening because if there are young men all over the place and we don't even know, then truly we need to call them. I don't understand how people let them just do that. Let's go. Donjo kunyama kone. Oh, chini muto temani. Donjo kunyama kone. Oh, donjo la kunyamani. Donjo kunyama kone. Oh, chini muto temani. Donjo yama kone. Donjo la kunyamani kone. Donjo kunyamani. Chini muto temani kone. Donjo kunyamani kone. Donjo kunyamani kone. Chini muto temani kone.
Thank you, Comrade Celestine. Before you go, do you want to tell us what that we know is Kondengi, but what is it saying?
I'm saying, everything is overnight, that even slash pregnant woman put in control. This situation never needed to be. It did not have to come to this. And this is when. And I say, go and see our children, our boys, our people in God. You will cry when you see them. Your tears will roll down when you see them. Your heart will hurt when you see them. And I'm telling the world, listen to the world. Listen to my cry. Listen to what happened for you. Please, listen. Even the heavens are angry. And your power is not stronger than God's power. Reach out to me, Papa. It's over. Your strength is no greater than God's strength. It is over. It is a prophetic word in a sense that it is over. It has to be over.
Thank you.
So, my sister, again, once again, happy to see you. I have not seen you since maybe Germany 2 years ago or so. I remember for those people who happen to watch you or listen to you live, they may not know that that voice is 10 times more melodious, 10 times more soulful. When you sing, you just would stop and listen. I think one of the things I might ask is, as much as one could feel it from just your voice and the sound, is there a way that you can, this music as it goes out, it can be like, you can write the messages underneath in English, so people can be able to really get what the message, you can pass that message to the outside world. That will really be very helpful, so we can get that and then begin to kind of circulate that. And that can go on some of the attachment as we do that, maybe there is a little bit montage that people can do. And then with some of the pictures of the prisoners, and we're talking about this World Cup, this Nation Cup. This is something that we can also send to the people, the journalists and all the other people that will be in preparations and send them that package. So that's really something when I listen to this, I was listening, I was thinking, how else can we make use of this incredible, beautiful talent that God has given?
Thank you. Comrade Celestine, we have one hand and Prof is waiting. So let's just take this one and then we have to go to Prof. We cannot keep Prof waiting. So, LS, you're going to say something.
Yes. Comrade, I'm going to have an emergency on Cameroon. I will have to 1 or 2 minutes forward now.
Okay.
I have an emergency at 7 o'clock in my house.
Yes.
Let the prof speak.
Okay.
As I said, but let me give thanks and thanking our sister for the wonderful song. God bless you. I'll just in view of the emergency which I have the 1 or 2. About naira 10.
Prof, we cannot see you.
Yeah, I know you're on the spot. I'm already done thing now. Yes, I just want to say 1 or 2 things. Don't be very long. 3 minutes. For my point is to look at the program for we're talking about colonial release. Never before have such high concentration of thinking heads that have ever gotten together. And you will say, arrested. People say, you were never arrested. The people, all of them were kidnapped. That's the correct terminology. In law and arrested. It's the full meaning of what I'm right. They were kidnapped. They were smuggled out of Nigeria. And then they became hostages. We know that, that is the correct term. That became hostages. So I was saying, these are thinking heads, 10 thinking heads, and never before have they ever done kind by the miscreant state. If you look at that profile, I'm trying to give that profile. University professors, you have writers, you have engineers, you have lawyers, you have trade unionists, it's a high caliber we're talking about. Now, if you look at the profile of these people, all of them, you will see how much each has lost in terms of liberty, freedom of movement, how much each has lost in terms of family, separation, emotionally, how much it has lost in terms of their career progression, how much it has lost financially, how much it has lost work, and how much it has lost collectively, how much has it worth? We all eat our square meals today. We go about where and how we want. We bond and meet with who we want. And can. We have our family and friends around us. We live in our own homes, in our own beds, in the comfort of the house. We have no experience of a daily touch, physical and psychological, the narrative and past 5 years. We have no experience of being shackled and being confined in small, narrow, and unhealthy places. We have no experience of all kinds of deprivation that we're going through. We have no experience of being torturously watched day and night. We have no such experience. We have not lived through any experience at all. Yes, we insult, don't lampoon them because they are part of the cross of our liberating cause. Some way them dead. Some fall for them to be assassinated, where they are shackled and killed by the enemy. Some fight by that pastor and another fight the boomstick. Pray to the devil that they should not corrupt you. We take every satisfaction and pleasure and they are wretched for it. But I say, they will love last and people love last, love best. I'm saying, what has happened to them is an increasing violation of international law. And I would say, domestic law. No national domestic, no military Cameroon authorized kind of terrorist conduct. which French government carried out together with Nigeria, in complicity with Nigeria. And you will see that two important cases on the server and example, ruling that they should be released and they should pay compensation. What do we get? Nothing. No reaction from the Nigerian government, no reaction from the French government. And why? I want us to know from the hearing about dignify what happened in the French government college, the trial by the court. That Nigerian time, those who precisely are not qualified as you know, and call them judges, they are not. And since the days of the military tribunal in French Cameroon has always as an instrument of repression. Civilians, you can go right back. Honestly, these guys, they have no choice. Decisions are taken by the executive and they're simply told to read it out, which is what they do. So we have a very hard condition in prison, kind of the sister was singing about the college of prison. If anybody has ever visited prison, you understand what I'm talking about. I had the privilege to visit it once. But two friends of mine, a lot of them, you will even have to attend this. This is the condition of 10 fine South Cameroon and Brazil. For no just reason, for no just cause, we kidnap terrorist banks, smuggle from Nigeria, and I think they are mostly French Cameroon. Never mind the national debt given them. Never mind the amount of fines they've given them, which is far more than the budget of French, the budget of French Cameroon. But we must bear in mind that we shall not let them stay in that place. We must continue this campaign until they are released for me just a beginning. I will not touch every point where the contemptuous wealth and the big power, know that the fact that our 10 naira are held, never 10 or not 10, never 10 are held hostage. The highest form of terrorism. I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Prof. And we are sorry we didn't know you had an emergency coming up and we didn't want to interrupt you. That's why we wanted to get everything out of the way. But your message is well taken and we hope next town hall when we launch the global campaign, you would have more time to spend with us on the 22nd. Thank you, Prof. We'll be in touch. Thank you, Prof. Comrade Celeste, did we miss anything? I didn't know Prof had to run. Yeah.
And we have been witness from the kidnapping and the smuggling. So we are profiling, which is very, very important. And we are involving our action towards them. And that is very important. And that's something that we have to really change our ways. Also go after these youths who are then paying this price, no matter the condition that they are living in, no matter how much they are living on. And we still do not change our ways towards them. So I just wish to say that we have to really change our ways in the way we handle our leaders, institution, and other governments.
Thank you. So before we bring on Iya, who would elaborate a little bit more on the global launch, I don't know if our sister Mbonge has another song for us. Thank you so much. And we hope you'll be back next town hall on the 22nd again when we launch the global campaign. Thank you. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Okay. Because of where we are now, I will still really
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Beyond all this mourning and the difficulties we are going through, we need to really sit down and get you going. Thank you so much. You are really blessed with that voice. Thank you so much. And please, if you can stay with us, thank you. So there is a global campaign to keep this front and center. What's happening to our prisoners, the detention. La République, as we all heard Paul Biya's end of year speech, is doubling down on using force and using any means necessary. It is either killing or arresting and using this arrest to make money. It has become such a part of their everyday policy and operation in southern Cameroons that every level of their militia, be it police commissioners, just be it gendarmes along the road, just pick up people randomly anywhere, and then you have to pay money to be released. And if you don't pay money, you are thrown in, you are never charged, you never go before the judge, you just languish and nothing happens. So we need to keep this campaign. It's a very important campaign, and we will call on Maggie Kilo, our own older sister and mother, to please educate us and prepare us for this launch on the 22nd of January. Are you there?
I am. All right.
Oh, yes, thank you. Sorry, just give me 1 second. I think I got that. Sorry, that just escaped my mind. Let me get it going. Oh, sorry.
Join the Relief Them campaign by visiting our website www.reliefthemcampaign.com.
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
So today, my dear family of Southern Cameroon, myself,
Yeah. Could you turn on your camera?
oh yeah, I was there. First of all, I want to thank you for the work very, very hard on it. I didn't have something that work for the country. I did something more than just they are hard working, passionate about the work. They have stand up for time and show the work ethic that you from the thank and appreciate brothers and sisters that have joined also able to get this type of job. So a very special thank you to open up Maganda, Ariel, Ian, Ane, Ira, Anide, Amela, and of course, Yoko. A very special thank you to Community Officers, actually as well as to my professional for the opportunity from and what I think just found now. On all crime. So I like to about I'm not still talking by the the most famous of some Cameroons was the big artist famous type down and fine. Now, all our all of you, no crime, I got Cameroon just survived on the basis of the president by everything else in Cameroon. Arbitrary arrest and torture, transparency, imprisonment, and death. Very common. There's about 1,000 and plenty of thousands and noise for the food provided from the one consumption like down at our people concentration. One common guest supply of breakfast and also of the meals not only from the environment, but also of other as the price and speed of the world, there might be some stories. Some psychological damage, anyone, no stories. There's no reason whatsoever transformed from the president alike, rational and irrational, have criminals and gangsters, but it also has children, teachers, entrepreneurs, going about intelligence, but for no reason whatsoever, find themselves. And of what is now called like of the people that cause yesterday on our people. There are about 3,500 of our brothers and sisters that represent as the people. Amazonian president of one. Cameroon 9 centuries and just around When nations have planned for them, the beneficiaries can hardly see our own, the whole result of the council side and the agriculture. Both appear as like some influence from the day that the Commemoration started and the well, the time actually was given. Because they are not on the 2nd of January 2026, a campaign that could last for as long as our people. In fact, the idea is campaign, the idea is that run all of every single one of them. We cannot afford to have our brightest and best players to start on the reason why we just start without what campaign. People also have wives and children, fathers and their mothers by their side and raise them properly. So, while getting 3,500 of tons of substance funds to be dumped off that there is no pushing. That's exactly why we're going to and carrying out until they are all Amazonian Islamic conscious supporting network is something built around supporting Amazonian human rights and one our increasing costs to support them physically and emotionally and gather and that veterans job to organize solidarity action so people want to support human rights and hope to recognize founded in by Amazonian diaspora organizations and allies in South Africa, United Kingdom, and United States. Current generation of people first people increasing for the expression of the potential theory that is for the next human rights of South Africa. Former expectations of South Africa under the United Kingdom administration respected by all, colonial and the conflict between Amazonia and South Africa remains for the president of many 500 Amazonian officials has always been by Cameroon following an insistent on the Constitution after 6 decades of non-violence and slogan, the form of art, not the art. I've come to realize that there is something about our number of Amazonian political has skyrocketed following the nationwide protest defend the Amazonian common law system from which Cameroonian what amounts to a colonial force. All the corners of Amazonian society have been rounded up rather than follow violence of rights. Teachers, business leaders, lawyers, and media workers, journalists, press union leaders, student union leaders, doctors, and even members of Palestine. one of your families and friends the special launch of January 7th, that is you will have a special launch ceremony by stories of congregations themselves, special counting at the third annual prayer. The program will also different simultaneously on SA and other media houses by but after the campaign, we are going to continue the campaign and have a campaign website that is already up and running at www.campaign.com. You can go there and see for yourself all the information about it. You are also going to use social media and the campaign will run on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, etc. The campaign has an email address. Create them at gmail.com. Several petitions launched already and will be launching at various institutions. Also now, several have signed up to sign up from the board. Some really famous at this point. I'm going to leave out and not talk about it as we subscribe and very good. Thank you. So much. Yeah. Yes, I think you missed something there. Yes. Well, it's not bad, but I just want to correct the email address. We want to give also one because our official email address is contact@campaign.com. I've posted that. That is the official one. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. And anybody in the campaign who wants to add anything that I might have missed? Yeah, let me add something concerning the website. Yeah, thank you so much. Concerning the website, it is up that we are still working on it. I mean, you want to understand that it's what we are still working on it. Any suggestions that you want us to add to the website, just we're very open to something we want to. So just reach out and yeah, let us do it together. Thank you, yeah. Yeah, we have Vivian. I think Vivian will have some things. So is Vivian there? Yes, I'm here, Mina, and I'm here, Senior Comrade. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to turn on my video because I've not been feeling well, yeah. But just to add, I've posted the main website on the chat. Please, you can make reference to the website and do what we do best, right? Tweet, like Ya said, tweet. Most importantly, I want to re-emphasize on the need for us to share with our grassroots movements, talk to our community leaders, talk to our communities. Please don't be afraid. This is a campaign to really highlight the need for this conflict to be known to people all over the world. I think that's where we've been lacking. And the more people know about it, the more we talk about it, it's our problem. And people cannot know about it if we don't talk about it. I think the patient goes to the doctor, not the reverse, right? So we need to go to our communities. We need to talk to foreigners. We need to talk to people who don't talk like us, who don't sound like us, who don't look like us. but who will listen to us, who are willing, even if they don't. We shouldn't give up. We should keep going over and over and over. I think I'll yield at this point for now. If there is any other thing, and there is a second campaign as well, still on the release of our people, and I think Comrade Celestine is here to elaborate more on that campaign. It is still a campaign of towards the release of our APOX, and that particular campaign is championed by APOX.net itself. So both campaigns are running simultaneously, and it's our duty to promote both campaigns. Comrade Celestine, are you there, please? If it's okay for my sister there to talk about it, that will be good. Thank you all. Before Celestine comes in,
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. It's concerning the website. Not yet. So if you visit and you don't find, you don't have access, not yet. Because as I mentioned, it's always still trying to work on it. Just for information. But be sure that before the 22nd, yes. And then second, what we are actually on is as on. We have a logo, we have hashtag, and the website. This is for everybody. If you want to have one, just let us know. If you want to go for everybody to have one. If you want to have one, let us know. At some point, we're going to have it on our website as well. So this is just information which we send out.
Thank you. I don't know if Comrade Celestine, are you there? You're muted. Okay.
I apologize. Yeah, it's not quite a lot to say about that because actually all the response and maybe one or two races they couldn't make it. It's just the APOX campaign, campaign that collaborates with other Amazonian organizations and other institutions that have been working with them, like the Samsoya Foundation and the Global Takuban and the House of Natural, because they on the field always carry out demonstration around the globe. We physically, when our leaders were adopted, and since then this campaign has always been running, and we try to portray the image of our president that we have seen quite a lot about trying to suppress him, and this idea of each time we meet with foreigners or with international community, we don't have a leader. And we don't have a leader because a lot of people try to portray themselves as being the leader of Amazonia in the struggle, and of which the leader is found with his cabinet, their cabinet, not just Ghana and Republic. That's not something that someone has to overemphasize upon, because we all know our president is by your talent mistake. This campaign is a we actually develop a hashtag because an expert visited this collaborating post team that was trying to build this campaign, and said we had a lot of free each time type on the hashtag free. You carry out to many, and most people always and speak the one that come. So we have hashtag Ayo That is a new hashtag that we use this year, so that we coordinate and get a lot of people to participate in this. And we have made the petition letters that have shared them all around, and we encourage people, for instance, in America, to share those letters with their MPs and their friends. So even if you are not in America, you have a relative there, it's nice to make them have that letter, because we always do the part when the MPs recognize recognize you as a citizen in their constituency. Being a citizen, they have the right to push forward what your wishes are. And one of them is this, because some campaigns of the past have proven from the US how they've taken resolution that is of our advantage. And this one also will not be no blow, because if you push it forward, UK, Germany, and other countries around you take this step that you can put it in your own way, but we don't lose the main idea of the message. We can put our own home address there, our own logo, to attract our own MPs where we are, and so that we'll be able to explain to them everything for this campaign. And time elapses, come up with more information about how the campaign is supposed to go, because we have t-shirts that have been designed that we want to use in the one that for either response or so people recognize this image of our Levante. And then it's not only settled on Levante, the other places too, because we have others with them. But notwithstanding, the 5th of January belongs to the Levante, because they are adopted as small people. So it's sort of like their name, it belongs to them. And throughout this campaign, a lot of activities will be envisaged in the countries where you are. And this can be done how you wish it to be. Because now we have lockdown, we cannot go detail into that. So we'll be observing this COVID thing and see how we can mobilize people physically, then we can announce how we want the next campaign. So the one that is ongoing now is media, TV, and Twitter, and they will write emails and even chat on WhatsApp group and share them with your contacts as much as you can. So we bring in a lot of people. So we will be grateful if all of us get involved into this. How we want it, we just want everybody to do their own bit and push this forward so that our comrades can be released. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Comrade Celestine. They say it takes the more the logs you have in the fire, the bigger the fire will burn, and the more the heat will be. So, as much as we can do, we should continue to do. We always have this tendency of thinking that if things are running parallel or simultaneously, then there is conflict, which is not always necessarily the case. Again, we have our bonfire in our culture, and people sit at different angles, and each person chips in their own log, and make the fire bigger, and that's what we are trying to do in these campaigns. Some will appeal to some would look at it from a different angle, and the repetitious nature of it coming and hitting the international community, maybe the same MPs from different angles, also makes them realize that we are serious. We are on many layers, all calling for the same thing. So we thank those working very hard for this campaign. And we would also like to open the floor for anybody on the interactive platform here on Zoom who wants to add to this campaign, if that's okay with the organizers of the campaign. Go ahead.
So, just to add on what you just said, somebody that is asking about ourselves, why one is coming from human rights angle, and the other one is coming from we are projecting our ideas, right? It's a full campaign that complements each other. The reason for that, there are some people not motivated in Amazonia, but when you come from the human rights perspective, for that is where you have to start. Those who are very comfortable with what they work, you will work very well with our general sector. So this only comes from comfortable with our restoration movement. They have no reason to say I don't want to be part of it. They will look at the human rights aspect and say this is something that we need to stop. So I just wanted to make this clear to see that you see the campaigns, they are actually one another.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Senior Comrade. I don't know if anybody has anything to add as ideas, suggestions. We'd like to keep the town hall interactive, not, top bottom. Oh, I thought you were just clapping. I thought it was a clap. Go ahead, Pastor Sobo. Amen.
Sister Maggie, you are my big sister.
Can you turn on your camera if you're in a suitable environment?
I am.
Okay, thank you.
Sister Maggie, I thank you so much. I was listening to you last night on the John Baptist show. And that was excellent, your analysis and so forth. I was drawn by your passion and love for the freedom of Amazonia. And so I'm still looking forward to honoring you from the back to really have some relationship with you. Sorry for saying that in the public here, but it's a relationship to know exactly how we can harness our strength together to be able to do things. If I have to contribute, what I was saying that I want to thank ladies, you are all strong ladies. When it comes to prosecuting the face of this revolution, nobody should be talking with some fear or shame because we are defending our territory. We are defending our people. We have never crossed Batazan. We've never crossed the Congo to go fight anybody. We've been on our land since 1961. The Republic has been coming into our territory and finally abducted our leaders and a lot of our children. When I look at the picture which Hakim showed, that picture I'm hunting for it. I want that picture to keep it in my archives because one day I will talk out with that particular picture. I'm still asking questions like, where are those children? Where are those children? We don't know where they are. We don't know whether they are alive or they are dead. They are. And I encourage us thinking, talking about our beloved why today in Kondiki, their passion to see us free. As I heard Professor Anyangwe trying to articulate on what we are losing. Their expertise, their technology, their management skills, the economy that they would have been developing in our own territory, and everything is taken away. As we are trying to harness or gather money to defend the main core, I want to encourage us, these women who have strong voices, the Lord people. Again, I was repeating my story of Deborah. I love that story of Deborah because when the men were cowering, Deborah stood up and freed sometimes when you wait for the man, I don't know how to put it because I'm so tired. We have been prosecuted just like men. When we talk about this human right and how to declare some defense to defend our brothers deceiving ways, we must also know that one of the ways of actually forcing people to move will be the defense. When I talk about the defense, I'm the ground. We don't we don't talk again like we are hiding. It is the truth. We have to read our boys. Because if these boys on the ground were not there, we don't know what I'm going to do. On the fire that they are putting under the pot, because they hear the pot not there. And for that reason, I'm pleading on this platform as we excuse me, let me because the noise coming from my background. I'm at work, and so some other people are talking. And so, my beloved brothers and sisters, as we talk on this issue of raising money to release outriders, I want the women to also use their voices to raise money to put sticks and matches, I don't know, alcohol, bullets and guns on the ground. Because if these boys have constant fire, one of the things that is really worrying them is because they go and shoot for 1 week, then they have to go still wait for another week for us to struggle with some small money to send it to them to again equip themselves before they go out. With that kind of defense, because now they don't want to defend anymore, they just want to face that the public spoil and keep them out of our territory. That would enable our brothers to be released faster. I mean faster because when the fire is on under the pot, I don't see how it will not go. And so therefore, it's going to be good. And so I encourage you that while we do all that we want to do, I feel very bad for my beloved brothers, these great people that I trusted so much and they find themselves where they are today because of some kind of dishonors, because of some kind of alcoholic greed on us. People want to take what does not belong to them. They find themselves where they are. It is our duty to fight for them, but it is also our duty to defend the territory so that when they come out, they should come into a place where they really can belong. I think that is the little I just wanted to contribute. I pray God to shorten this as soon as possible so that we can go back. I heard Mama talking about developing our territory. All she was talking is about developing our territory. While you are working in this country, learn something, learn a trade, learn a practical trade. Then when you go back, the moment things are open, we don't just go back, we go back and start creating jobs by building people, training people who will not just go walk in the street, but that will help to build our nation. God bless you. Thank you for the opportunity to say one word or two.
Thank you, Pastor Asobo, and thank you for your encouraging words to our mothers and our women who are the spearhead of this liberation movement. Thank you very much. So I would like to call on the organizers of the campaign if there is any closing comments, observations.
Moderator, let me again raise my hand and start.
Okay.
Let me, first of all, thank you, the awesome see what you were when I was going to accuse you for actually just monopolizing it, but it looks like it's here. And furthermore, how do we make sure that we don't get those t-shirts before the 22nd? That would be my number one thing, which is to do the campaign to make sure that everybody who shows up here and as the camera spotlight on all of us should be wearing the same thing. That is
Yes. I spotlighted her so she could show off the T-shirt again.
Yes. So she knows that I will call her privately, but I was just going to say it in public so that she kind of like because she doesn't forget that. Number two, I think one of the things I would think on the T-shirt, I don't know whether you might think about putting some of those images. No matter how close actually reason our people, so maybe go back to the front one, take this as a suggestion of a video who doesn't know what they're talking about. But sometimes the same problem blog is twice. I just write twice a day, and so you may find something in what I'm saying. Third, I don't know whether the website, again, I know I'm still working on it. And one of the things that probably one might want to see in that website would be number one, not just the phone number of our prisoners, but if we can be able to say these are prisoners in this number of prisons, around, as you know, they're all noted in Cameroons, that is big. And sometimes with the food there on that people is what they call food, what they describe as food that the people are eating in those jails. I have had I don't know whether to call it the economy or maybe call it whatever you might call it, to actually take care of some of the people in here. When you saw the food they had, no doubt a lot of them will suffer from energy malnutrition, and some of them would have to, when they went into the hospitals, people don't know that even when they discharge these people, they are discharging many of them will die. And so it would be good to get the food that they eat on that stuff so people can see what they're selling human beings in the 21st century. And we should get more pictures of the dungeons and put it out there, including what they use as quote-unquote toilets. So it is good for people to have a pictorial sense of this. Because I have the impression that a lot of people, when they talk about these things, a lot of people will sit out here and make a lot of noise and talk nonsense. Many of them cannot even imagine, they lack the power of imagination to imagine what it is that these people are actually suffering from. So maybe this is the time for us to explain this. As Martin Luther King famously said, the only way to be able to cure and access is to open it up to the light, to the natural healing power of light. This is our opportunity to present the dungeons of black people to the world on that platform. Let's hide nothing, actually nothing. That's some of the things that people can that is going on in here, and let the people really see it and do it for themselves. And when you talk about prisons, for some of the people within here in the United States or all the developed world, they think about prison as their own prisons here, right? They don't know that what you're talking about. If you confine the dog in that environment world, that's what they don't understand. So we need to put this out there so that people can understand it and see what they're talking about. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Edmond, and I think the ladies will take your suggestions under advisement. Comrade Charles Agbo, your hand is up, and then we'll come to you. Comrade Charles, the floor is yours.
empathy, the ability to understand others or share the feeling. The compassion goes beyond that to something about it. Like if you give glass to one compassionately, that means you take an action. Much I want you to not be dead with what they're doing. I want you to actually not only emphasize, not only say, hey, actually do something. Get one went to Nigeria when he was with the aim of going to investigate. And you, I'm a drug from the United States, and that was still, man, I can't be busy. And 12 was from the elimination thing. So, in this note, I was not like that. Now, we also try to engage with Asia. For example, this Abuja High Court ruling. Because the saving is their saving as well. I remember calling him and saying he has been in London, hoping that he want to take over and Nigeria. Great. I'm going that way because but it is their saving as well. So they should have and tell us what they are doing about it. I just want to find that very
Thank you, Comrade Agbo. Thank you very much. Yeah, your hand was up. It went down. Then we have Comrade Vivian. I hope I didn't drop your hand.
Yeah, if you want to go ahead before I speak, that's fine. If you want me, go ahead. That's important. Thank you. I just wanted to reiterate on what Comrade was said. The card we haven't been able to play effectively and diligently is the victim card, right? We haven't been able to take advantage of the fact that we're victims. We've been playing more of the political card, which is there's nothing wrong with that. But as we've noticed, and as I have noticed personally, when you use the political card, trust me, everybody else, especially in the Western world, and most especially in the US, is tired of hearing us fight against one another, right? They're tired of hearing Africans shoot at one another and kill one another, and each time you talk about it, it's like, well, they're used to killing each other and da-da-da-da-da. So I'm tired of hearing that. But when you bring forward the victim card, when you play the human rights card, when you play when you take the part that really searches the conscience of humanity, when you're talking to someone and you have something to show them, and you're telling them that these are people. Personally, I've been affected by this. My niece died in prison earlier this year, Quinta Ayafo. I know most of you must have heard about it. That's my niece. My cousin was slaughtered to Florence Ayafo in broad daylight, right? And these are just a few. And then another cousin just got killed in the Mbengu thing. The man, the Presbyterian leader who was killed is my first cousin, right? So when you look at this, when I talk to someone about this, they have to listen. They need to listen.
because I am not just an activist here. I am not just, some Wonder Woman who wants to cry more than the bereaved here. I am the bereaved. So I think this is what we need to really articulate, right? Make it our own. Talk to people as though we are the victims, and which we are. We have to take advantage of that part and play it absolutely well. So I just wanted to reiterate on what our brother Charles said, and make this slide our own, and not just keep saying, okay, these people, those people, or that. This is our own, and we need to make it our own and own it and play that card really well. Because La Republic has no argument. They don't. We do. But guess what? We never played it well. Thank you. I'll yield for now.
Thank you, Comrade Vivian. And we are all in this together. Accept our condolences. The shoe is tight on all our feet, but sometimes it pinches on certain sides more than others. And please take heart, and God give you strength. That's a lot for one family to bear. That's a lot. Yeah. Go ahead.
I want that, but the pictures of their school actually help. That's okay. But let me remind everybody that these are our brothers and sisters. And every from right now, you don't know what's going to happen. The caliber of professionals, of responsible men and dealing is not heartbreaking for society that whether you're a welder, a bricklayer, a teacher, an engineer, a lawyer, and you find yourself in this sector. Oh my, I mean, okay, so we can talk about like a one that become just scared of it. You want that just to bring the sense that comes out of it. We realize how much of the burden something that not all of those stereotypes. Not all neighborhoods around you are the same. But you don't look at it. We have other voices of these people in witness there, rubbing the mud. So that's what I wanted to say.
just want to answer Dr. Edmond's question about the t-shirt. Yeah, yeah. So I think we need to share the logo and this hashtag, and then everybody can print it by themselves. It's easier than when we print it and then post it to people. So Dr. Edmond, you can now use whatever you want to use on top of the t-shirt. Then add this hashtag and logo. Am I right now?
Okay.
I've shared the logo. Please check the chat room, please. Check the logo again.
Yeah. Hey, don't we think that I thought the t-shirts were being such that maybe buying them will also raise some additional funds. That was my thought.
They're actually going to have one second thing. So, one thing to remember that you get the event campaign. Now, the doors so I can
Yes.
Yeah, no, I am. Yeah, sorry, I get that. I'm just saying that maybe I thought that the t-shirts would be like that we're going to buy. So that's what I was asking. Yeah, so it would be good to have different places where somebody can order that t-shirt and it gets to them. So we use part of that t-shirt. My thinking is that that t-shirt be made so that it's not just me putting the logo and putting on my chest, but it's getting the t-shirts that are like memory and any other memorabilia that you might use, so we can use it also as a price point. And so I also just correct one thing that I might have miscommunicated, but the pictures I meant were not the individual pictures of the prisons. I'm talking about the pictures of the particular the dungeons that they are in. So we need to actually absolutely use this so that we can be able to x-ray how that place looks like. And so that's what I was saying. And every other thing does that. Even if it is just for people, sometimes it might even be good. If you have somebody who can get a small like trailer narrative as you're talking about the stench that nobody can see, you can't see the stench or smell, but then somebody describing it and putting it on that website. Sometimes the same pictures. There's a lot of people that are reading with they're listening. It's really one thing that we're so good at, and other people might just like to see a picture of hearing the voices of people narrating them instead of just writing. Thank you.
Got all of this taken care of, Brother Edmund. The pictures are going to be there. I completely understand where you're coming from. We will get all the necessary, really, really bad images from all the prisons included on the website without getting any compromising information that can really, get some of our comrades who are still in prison into more trouble than they're already in. So we all remember that famous video that what's his name? Comrade Flag recorded. That video is one of our main videos, and I encourage everyone. We are using that video as one of our main human rights abuse videos, because if anyone, I have been able to gain access to a lot of places because of that video. Anyone who watches that video and not ask more questions is absolutely heartless. So that video is going to be used. Absolutely, this is the video. We're working on this video. We are using the BBC authenticated version so that nobody should come back and say, okay, well, is this verified? Yes, it is verified by BBC. So every single thing is going to be done to make sure that this campaign is authenticated and it is verified, and every information on there is that needs to be there will be available. So thank you so much for all your contributions, and we're working on all these to cross our T's and dot our I's. Thank you.
Thank you, Comrade Vivian. I think Elena, you had your hand up.
Yes, Pastor, thank you. I'm sorry, I was not around when you were I said something was like, we have one voiceover that came out, and that voiceover has some voiceover that has to portray or trying to portray what that person voiceover went through. It's not the best way, but you're working towards like just kind what we are saying. What you said, like trying to portray
Yeah.
our boss.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
when you have this something come out like everything with a story of one people and images that reflect what we see, what's
Yeah. And why I just have to hear one last thought, and I promise I will shut up after this. The images of our torturers, if we can be able to personalize them, like who is the head of that prison, who is the minister, who are the people, what these people responding to, and get them on that, and personalize them, and put the tag on these people's back. One of the things that you really notice is that everybody, when they just say government or everybody hides behind this, but when these people know that people after them individually, and put their pictures there and put their names there and say, these are the chief torturers of our people. And you will see the conditions in that place improve. And I think, we need to put these things under and put it under somebody's back. And let these people own it. Yes, so let these people own it. I was just gonna put this on the chat, but since you were there and I've had this chance to make it, I will just leave it at that. But consider that and let us think about how that can be done.
I also would like to add that sustainability of this campaign is very important. So, in order to sustain it to long term, all of us need to sensitize our communities again. Because if not, it's just gonna end up like any other campaign that comes on and then dies down within the next 1 week or so. We need to find different ways in which we can sustain this campaign, through which we can sustain this campaign. And what will it take? Grassroots movement. Talk to your contacts from especially different African countries, because we want to galvanize grassroots movement within our African continent and really put them against the AU. Organizations like the AU that hasn't spoken a word since they started. So I just wanted to urge us to remember that sustainability, keeping this campaign running long term, is very important. And probably, who knows, we can organize a major rally, face-to-face rally, come summer of 2022, right? Because at least by then, COVID must have been down. So these are some of the things we're equally putting into perspective as well. And your feedback is very necessary. Thank you.
Yeah, I just shared on the screen to Edmond's point some of the faces that we know. We know that Bia is there. We know Ngongo is the one running the country, and that's Ayolo, the director of cabinet. Those are the people in the 2D. We know that Laurent Esso is running the justice ministry and keeper of the seals, controls the prisons. He and Giatanga. We know that Bamkui is in charge of the military intelligence. We know that Valenka is the person in the northern zone, and this other man with the green hat is the one in the southern zone. These people keep moving them around, but at least as of when we got this information, that was the guy in the southern zone. So to Edmond's point, to encourage on the website, it's easy to get this information of some of the perpetrators.
The head of the prison in
Said, yes.
Instead of the represent,
Yes.
you get all of these people, and
Yes.
that is to this list
Of perpetrators. Yes. Thank you.
Amazonia may make its own cards, right? Like from everybody who was here in the United States, remember the war and like that. You know, like America made this pack of cards and had all these people.
Yeah. The wanted people.
Yes, we can make our own
of the regime.
flash them. So we cannot like we need to be able to be more creative on this. And if we can do that, that would really help.
Thanks for that suggestion.
All right. Conclude now. We are hoping to have a very, very rich program on also that the lifelong activity as long as our kids are healthy, push this into the world all get our life out of our success and out of all the other things. So I want to start the coming down
Thank you, yeah. And we encourage people to come. We won't let the cat out of the bag, but we shall also have some surprise guests who people will be very, very happy to meet. So thank you for setting the stage, yeah. And we will close this section by playing the video, the clip we started with before you came on. Oh, sorry.
Join the Release Them campaign by visiting our website www.releasethemcampaign.com.
You're very welcome.
Like you're seeing the Greeks in the caves of the cyclones.
Yeah, or sardine cans, right?
I'm telling you, I mean,
that's the life we are living.
No matter how many times you watch it, it evokes the same.
Yeah. So the last part we were going to discuss today is we are beginning a new year, and we need to take an assessment of where we were in 2021. We need to self-evaluate. We need to do an introspection. We need to appreciate the good, look at the bad, and see what we can improve on, what was missing, and where we need to go moving forward. This new Energized campaign is one of the things which will be launched in 2022. There has been a lot of talk about renewing our material and financial support, both on the humanitarian side with our CSOs and on the military side with supporting our fighters. Towards the end of the year, the last quarter, we began to see a kind of disintegration in some of our organizations and bringing down the level of seriousness of our struggle. Our Southern Cameroonian habit of giving more attention to petty fighting and inside gossip and what's happening to individuals and organizations while forgetting the bigger picture and focusing on that. It is no wonder to anybody, or it's not new to anybody, whenever there is a broadcast about infighting and gossip, and backstabbing, we swam to go and listen. When there is a discussion on important issues, we just don't show up. We learned in 2021 that from our international partners, nobody is taking us serious because we continue to perpetuate a level which is less than expected at an international level. A lot of the grandstanding, a lot of the gamesmanship is engineered by those who want to impress or think they can impress Southern Cameroonians. Their audience is not impressing or elevating their game to the standards required of the international community for people who are very busy to take you serious enough to make room on their agenda for you. I may be wrong, that's why we're having this discussion, but I don't know any Southern Cameroonian imposing or trying to grandstand who will be taken seriously by, let us forget the first tier, the G20. Let us come to the second level of nations in the world. Who will be taken seriously by, say, the president of Brazil? Who will be taken seriously by, say, the Prime Minister of South Korea? Forget the US or Germany or Britain. Do we have any leader who would be taken seriously and granted audience by a second world leader? I don't think so. Not amongst those who are grandstanding. And I think one thing we need to do in 2022, therefore, is to raise our game and rally around the people we believe elicit that kind of respect and give them what they need to speak on our behalf. So we want to open this part of the discussion to us on the interactive platform, what we think of 2021 and what we want to do going in 2022. And then there has been a lot of talk of raising funds. In the middle of this discussion, we are going to intersperse it with the contacts where people can go and raise funds. We have seen now there is empirical evidence that a lot of these political groupings are either embezzling or mismanaging or rationing financial help to those groups that pay them allegiance, and all other fighters are on their own. We have talked today about defending the flag and the territory and not political organizations. So many people have written to the Secretariat of the Town Hall asking for a neutral fund which will go to support our fighters, irrespective of where and who these fighters are under, or irrespective of who claims the fighters. We have had fighters from all the political organizations reach out, not just to the town hall, to various people asking for help, which means that they are either not getting enough from the people who use them to raise this money, or they have gotten to the point where they just want to help, they just want to fight, and they don't care at this point who is supporting them. And there is no organization out there that would stop the people of Southern Cameroon, also Southern Cameroons, from supporting who they want to support. If we want to raise money and give a fighter in Bui, or Guzan, or Fako, or Ndian, nobody can come and say, don't give money to this person because that is my fighter. Nobody owns a fighter. And we need to get over that. So we are going to begin to roll out what we can do to help our fighters. But in the meantime, if we want to get into this discussion, please just raise your hand or and unmute yourself. And let's...
Just a quick note.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, okay, good. So let us keep our discussions to maybe 2 minutes so that everybody could have a chance to say something because this is a very passionate thing that one person can take the floor and just go on and forget that there are other people who also have something to say. So let's time ourselves on your phone or your watch and hold ourselves to 2 minutes so that others have a chance. The floor is open for the discussion, please. Unless we are saying that we're all satisfied with how 2021 went, unless we are saying that we don't have anything we want to introduce in 2022 or call on our people to do differently. At the beginning of the town hall, we saluted our fighters, those in Bui. We saw the videos of the Unity Force. We hope that that is going to spread across the land. We have also called out against kidnapping, which continues to be a problem, and that is what is really turning the suffering people against the fighters. When people are struggling to earn a living and you go and take their relatives and start asking for exorbitant sums of money or money at all, it's criminal. We condemn the kidnapping in Bamising. We are calling on that commander to release the people he's holding, the money he's asking for. We don't want to put out a name because we are hoping that he can come to reason. But if this continues, we are going to name and shame and put the pictures of fighters and commanders who are kidnapping people. And if that affects their security, that is on them. But we need to stop this kidnapping because we know the people doing the kidnapping, we have their names, we know their pictures, and we have their numbers. If it means exposing kidnappers, we are going to do that to save the revolution. Comrade, yes, Vivian, go ahead, your hand is up.
Thanks again for giving me the opportunity to talk. I just wanted to looking back at the past years, it's been torturing, it's been treacherous, it's been horrific. But I think looking forward, like you said, we need to be able to call out people and kick them out of this revolution to save blood, to save lives. I think one person for me who needs to go out, I've been quiet for so long, right? Because I've been so sick and tired. I've been so considering that this revolution has affected me personally so badly, has affected my family so badly. I just plead and beg that we find a way to kick out someone like Sako out of this revolution. I'm serious. I'm not gonna hide it. I discovered the evil in this man right from earlier on because I spoke to him very quite often, and there were certain things he could not, certain questions he could not answer, and certain statements he made, and I've done my best to sensitize and educate people and talk to people about this man. A lot of my cry fell on stones, and today we're seeing who he is. Until he leaves this revolution, we're not going to be the same. It's not gonna be well with this revolution. I can promise all of you, it's not going to be well. We need to find a way to just let him go, to just beg him to leave and save us and save our people. I'm so sick and tired of seeing blood, of seeing my relatives killed, of seeing this
man out there for the killing of our people shamelessly. I'm so tired. I'll yield.
Thank you, Comrade Vivian. Thank you very much. And take heart. We're in this together. Uh, People who have steeped their hands in blood, we don't have the ability to unclean stained hands. Only God can do that. We need to move away from them. We continue to harbor them, and their entourage that benefits from them continue to make a lot of noise. But what I can assure you is that as much as the decibels are going up, their tents are shrinking. The noise they are making is a lot, but the tents, the people following them are shrinking, which is a very good sign. So they can up the noise, up the antics, up the rhetoric, but less and less people are even following them. So take heart, we'll make it. Man, Master, your hand is up, and then we go to here.
The question was, what was wrong or what did you not do well? First of all, say many things have improved. This on ethnic difficulties. At least we started something like civil system organization. Started organizing some humanitarian activities at another level. So, through this video, to work together. Understand why society should come together, whatever that benefits that is revolution that succeed. I think other solutions that came up that have started cleaning our institution, that's giving more calling and appreciating the also last year. But sometimes we were just gathering money and we were seeing that coming up on stage to show how we collect and how we spend this money. A lot of other organizations started doing it, although they have stopped. So we also don't realize that as we not so much money is received. I don't know how it is to survive. I know people are still survive, and I think that is something that we should appreciate. And especially our that came up and our Yama that are doing very beautiful with pictures on Liberian and other women, other people, despite the little, I want to say, or lack of appreciation from some other people. I mean, stop thinking so that we want them to call next week to say things not right and right. So we still survive, and I think Taco Bell coach I know that it's not too long, but we have progress. Now, I think starting is really key to the leaders. That's it. We don't have to think about it. We have told them what we want. We have told them what should be done. And our destiny is in our hands, not in their hands. So now, what it takes to do the right thing and put it together, no matter what organizations, most of these organizations, have purpose is like autistic people focus on just what we know and forget uh, things that are happening around us that are simply complementing what we're doing. We think that they are threatening us, they're against us, they have responded to many groups that came up and now they are doing a lot of things in this revolution. And some of this this division come mostly from leaders who never call out their subordinates or their Odeshi, blue and white army officers. So I think it's time for us to know that our destiny is in our hands and we have to start means to bypass these leaders refusing to bring themselves together. We need to find a way to do that. And so that's our 2022 to have a unified revolution or strong independence or whatever what you call it, with or without yes.
Thank you, Master. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. That's why
Can you turn on your camera?
my like I said, I was I respond. I want to respond to the interview that comedian Atanga and I did and I just say this because I forgot. Easier for us because that was come together and form a roadmap of the bulk of our work. After the decision cycle, I want to start our work is not after very constructive that would be that destroying from us, but they cannot build our work. And I was watching 34-year-old children cannot write. On everything that is not to their class, waiting. So we must be scared of this in another 5 years. That's not that I saw it that will be 80. So all of what we have, I was asking, how do we want our children like if not to are comfortable and when it's not to school, so we remain consistent for another 5 years so they can have their bank account. I have worked with money and I can say nobody is doing something very, very slow. Just like I don't know what to do. Can come together and work deliver and get our money back and start to get some sort of structure, which takes care of all the psychiatric problems, emotional problems. Look at our psychiatric, look at the young boys. They have to integrate their kids when some of them have how do they do that? They don't find a way. And infrastructure to have, opportunities. come together. Sure, the bulk of the work is done. About that we're not what they do. No, not the work. Like I said, I just want to also make it in a way but I think that you have actually from talk to them, read the bulk of the work. Ourselves. So notable, I guess, why our don't want to.
Thank you, yeah. Thank you for those words of support to Vivian. We have Comrade Charles. Charles, your hand is up. Go ahead. Okay. Charles, go ahead.
What were they doing? You can do it contrary. And then go. See, I'm fighting. You got enough money. And
If that's his source of living, collecting money from the Republic and throwing stones, we have to give him, we have to get him to agree to, we have to offer him a job, and then will he agree to it? Go ahead.
Yes. We're talking about effects rather than the causes of a problem. And I'm afraid that if you have monkey, I mean, as far as I can go, you get a monkey to keep bananas. I mean, you build structures in the way that monkeys keep bananas and chicken keep corn. And at the same time, and then you come back, even if you take one monkey out, the other monkey will come back. As long as the structure still wears all the way the monkeys will keep bananas and the monks will keep the corn. So I think, the answer is no. Maybe Sako is not the only problem. You may be hearing about him, but he's not the only problem in that place. What is the problem then is the structure. And the structure that we have appropriated. I was reading a book over the last few weeks about, for all of you that are probably historians, you would realize that at the time of the Nazis, the time that Hitler came to power, they were just the Weimar Republic. Hitler was actually, Germany was the most advanced nation in terms of human rights, in terms of intellectuals. They produced more Nobel Prize winners and all this kind of things at the time. And so the question was, how would a nation, what was it, so how would a nation that had this many people actually produce the Hitler? And the same thing we need to ask the Brazilians. How is a country, if you look back in the diaspora and ask the question, the only countries that are above us in terms of, the education, like looking at people in the higher institutions, out here in the United States, Wikipedia and stuff like that, will be countries like Nigeria and to an extent probably Kenya and Ghana, which if you look at their share numbers alone, they have a reason to be far ahead of us. So, but then, how do all these bright people kind of produce, that the institutions are so weak, the structures are so weak. If you take out Sako, another person would, and if that's the same structures again the same way, there will be another false prophet. There will be another person who will come out there and appropriate that multi-diagonal structure and just continue to do exactly what Sako is doing. And here is the situation where my thinking is, and can we figure out a way to find, structures, and create structures that would act like the poor, like the gatherings. And I hear Yamaki talking about the ancient reason, the post-war conflict, which to me, I hear people talking about the independence as an end, and I say, no, independence is not an end. It's a means. The end for us is freedom. Independence is a means. And for us to get freedom presupposes that we need to fight this war in a different way, where the supremacy of institutions will reign rather than strongmanism. And for the way that the structures with the IG are, to me, looks like that's what it gives its way to strongmanism. And so we sorry, my young Amazonians won't let me throw me out of my office this morning. I wanted to use my own run to somewhere. They can't leave me alone. So I think that let's look at this. At the beginning, I talked about a couple of things. The politicization of the fighting force in the ground is the cardinal sin. Can we uncouple that and get those people to concentrate so that people fighting on the ground don't teeter themselves to discipline? That is number one. Number two, as we move along, can we look back and say, some of us don't see themselves as self-righteous. Different people, we cannot all are here united. What does united mean? United doesn't mean that different people should break down their different political organizations or whatever institutions and come under one umbrella. If you're thinking about that, it's not going to happen. What could happen is, well, do we have the structure, the purpose that we all agree to? What is that purpose? How can we then build institutions or structures to be able to make sure that those structures exist? Think about what we have now. For instance, you would say the military is fighting at this time that we're fighting. You need three arms. You need communication, you need defense, you need diplomacy. These are three. So is there a way that we start thinking and say we go around four categories? There are people that need the IG that's our heads, the big IG as assistants and famously called. There is people that believe in the IG care, and there are people who believe in KFC, and there are people who believe who are in either of those. And can we, out of all of these people, find the best Amazonians who are in diplomacy, who are in international relations, who have the work with them to actually solve us diplomacy, taking them from all of these different roles. And can we find people in defense to do the same thing with defense and find people in communication to do the same thing in communication? To me, that is our goal. That is our goal. Because once we found that everything does fit, because the finances, whatever thing, will be built along those structures so that we can then be able to have accountability. People can give us accountability. People can actually show Amazonians that whatever we're doing is actually working and we can punch above or maybe at least at our level, at our weight category. Let me stop there. I think it sounds more theoretical, but here is the things that would actually give us to me. I think these are the things that we need to find a way to find the practical, put this thing into practice. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Edmond. We have Kane and then Roselle. Kane, unmute yourself. Are you there? Kane, are you there? Okay. Roselle, if you're ready, it looks like Kane is not ready. Roselle, are you ready? All right, King, go ahead while Roselle repositions herself. Go ahead, King. Can you turn on your camera? Is that possible?
No, I mean,
you're not in a suitable place. Okay. All right.
There's this question of Sako is not the only problem, yes, but just like Sako and the others we already talked about, we are in a war situation not sometimes in the world and enemies not only the other person but the opposite side and their own. And you find every enemy. There is one of us, the Kema. The Kema was forced out, nobody begged him. And we want people forced him to go to where he is to be. If it comes to that point, why can we not do the same to Sako? That will save the revolution and save other people's lives. If he continues to be peace, why can we not do the same thing to him? In the worst situation, someone wants to kill you and you can kill the person. Do it. So like I said, Sako is a problem that is not the only one. There are people, young people, this country, this point, who have been feeding their lives all along has been set up around this trouble. The country cannot ever see or record stop. The limits again has to come. They continue and continue, and that is how they have built their own life. So there are people you will not stop them or make them to stop. You will have to force them to stop. By doing what you have to do, God will listen, God will not punish you. Imagine if a Kema was alive, the damage it would have caused by the day. And it got to the point where we force it to take the rest. Why can we not do the same to any other person? So that's just the point I want to highlight.
Thank you, Comrade King. Thank you. And Roselle, are you okay now?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Are you in a position where you can turn on your camera?
No, I'm sorry. I'm not.
Okay.
That's why I'm kind of looking for a corner.
All right, that's fine. That's fine.
Yes, yeah, I do apologize that I'm not able to turn my camera on. I want to greet everybody in the house, and all my brothers and sisters who are in here. I just want to say that my spotlight is that, towards the end of the year, I know a lot of us just wrote it on the forum, what others have been writing. There was raised a lot of, towards the end of the year, what are we talking, what are we planning to do? Fighters are struggling, people are struggling. So we need to do something. That was my thinking by the end of the year. Trying to set up something, and I'm happy that today we're trying to figure out how to set up something, a way to support the fighters, which is the backbone of this struggle. I know that I didn't hear my other comrades talk about certain people that they want to get to be, like Sako and to begging that we try to get rid of. But I know that this forum was created in a way that it covers all the actions of the revolution, because everybody has their own followers. The Sako has followers, and Ayabachu has followers, and many other few factions that they have on the revolution, they have their followers. It's going to be difficult for us to kind of think that we should get rid of somebody, but I believe that we should find ways to get to help these people in the way that, because there will always be somebody that has a problem. If we are getting rid of this person, this other person will come and do something we are getting rid of. Then where's the revolution going to go to? And there was I'm happy to see Dr. Polycarp on the forum. There was a conference in the past that I attended, and one of them was here in Massachusetts, and I was in the forum with Dr. Polycarp. I don't know who else is on the forum that was in that conference. And experts did give ideas on how we can help to move this revolution forward. And at that time, they said that we should work with an independent body that can help moderate the communication between the factions of the revolution. There are so said that those experts said that there are so many revolutions. One of them was somebody that had worked on certain other past revolutions. He said that there are several revolutions that have actions like ours, but then all the parts of the revolution, they're not talking to each other. Then how can we move this revolution forward when those past actions are not able to communicate with each other? Then as I said, they should look for an independent committee that can find ways to put that part of it together. Since then, I've been asking that question to a lot of, like the groups that were there at that time, like, what have you people done this for the recommendations? What can we do to move this thing forward? So that is my own point about that part of it. Like, I believe that it's not about, we have, let's say, 100 Cameroonians. Everybody has their own, way that they're contributing to this revolution. Some might be better than some, but they are all Amazonians who should be looking for an independent body that can help to bring this action together, and let's fight for the common good, because the fighters on the ground have been struggling and have been asking for this. Let's unite and work as one. How can we get that forward? Secondly, it's for the funding of the fighters. Do we have structures on the ground yet that can manage the money? Let's say let's raise funds today. Which structures is already put in place that will manage that money effectively without somebody pointing fingers at them that you stole this money, you stole this money? Because the supported money and many other management questions came because there were no structures on the ground to manage the money effectively, and money came and was mismanaged. So do we have that structure? And I believe that the fighters are struggling on the ground because they're not able to get the money. How can we get that money, manage it effectively, and put the money in a way that they are able to, to get their own fair share, and which I do believe would decrease the rate of kidnapping and for ransom, because I believe that those things are survival skills. There might be some fighters that were already in the past. Something coming in, you might end up, doing whatever you want to get it. Because a lot of them are on some substance enhancement substances to fight. A lot of them have families and all those things. So anyway, kidnapping is about developing those structures that help them, that they will be able to have a smooth flow. Every week I'm getting 10,000 francs. Every week I'm getting 10,000 francs. They will know that they have this to work on, and that will be able to alleviate that stress and to reduce the kidnapping. That's just my thought. So I'm just making that, those are my own ideas and suggestions. If people don't like it, just do apologize to them, and I'm sorry, but that we need to really work on this and try to help those boys, because I've helped a lot of them. A lot of them ask for help from me. Their family members are killed in this revolution, or houses burned. They don't have anything to contact me sometimes directly and ask for help. So the government is spending billions a day to fund those people they send to fight, to fight our land. What are our boys getting? How are they sustaining themselves? So those are just my questions. Thank you so much. I'll yield.
Thank you so much, Comrade Roselle. And you don't have to apologize for anything, because we are having an open discussion, and every Southern Cameroonian has the right to air their opinion unapologetically. So we do appreciate what you're saying. Because your camera was not on, I took advantage and put an image on the screen. To what Dr. Edmond was saying, Comrade Charles, I see your hand. I'll come to you in a minute. The it's for us. It's for us Southern Cameroonians to take our struggle into our hands and stop thinking that we can just disburse money and go back to other preoccupations, and somebody would go and fight and oversee this fighting, and then when we get to Boya, we just come home. We have to be involved on a daily basis. We have seen the amount of mismanagement and misappropriation, and people who themselves are beneficiaries of the donors turn around and make themselves benefactors and turn our fighters into beneficiaries, and they want to make themselves benevolent benefactors, and they decide who gets money and who pays them allegiance. And that's why what we have decided to do, DAC has set up a payment platform which will be rolled out. They are still working on it. For now, we have put on the Zelle and Cash app. The rather people use the hashtag, the $, and the PayPal account. And the idea when it is rolled out will be for Southern Cameroonians to put money in a neutral form, which will be transparent. The fighters, to your point, Roselle, have set up a structure. They have their house of commanders. We saw those in Bui recently. It constitutes commanders of all the different factions. ADF, ARG, ARF, you have it, independent fighters. And the condition for money going to them is that the money must go to the commander's house, where all the commanders will see all the money. All the commanders, by consensus, will decide on the use of the money, and the people of Southern Cameroons will be informed of the money. The idea of classified is a way for people to steal and hide. Everything must be done in the light. When Biya gets $300 million from the IMF, we know, and we know what he's going to use that money for. But the IMF does not hide that amount in the name of it's classified for Biya to go and get weapons, from Lebanon or from Israel or from France. So we have to get away from hiding things, because that is when thieves take advantage, because people don't know. The more transparent we are, then the more accountable people become. So we don't want to call names, we don't want to force people. We want Southern Cameroonians to appreciate the struggle we are in, and on their own donate into this fund. You can go to the DAC website, to the War Relief button. It's going to be rolled out officially, but for now our fighters are begging and asking for help. So let's go in there and let's support them. Comrade Charles, Comrade Vivian, then we come to Edmond. I see you unmuted yourself. Comrade Charles, go ahead.
I just wanted to add that if it was just the slightly different, I mean, that's understanding. Because, I mean, we can see that the guys on the ground, they have one cow, one guy will not be there, because he's the one who sets up the budget. So, if you're acting on something, whether it's wrong or right, you have to be. Because no one has to die. But it's a thing. If you are acting on something, you don't wrong. You have to complain and you can be acting on something. Come on. Because, I mean, there's no time. So, people like you say, they went to the American war. That fight was well organized. You were seeing that on the ground, that's like the issue. The guys are trying to bring themselves together. There was one guy who was up there. Because he paid attention to the question. And we have to support the enemy to look at God and look at those who are minded. And then look at them. It's so crazy. So this is why certain things
Thank you, Comrade Charles. Comrade Vivian.
Yes, thank you again. I just wanted to respond to my sister who talked about Sako having supporters. And I am not being apologetic here. I am not hiding names here. I am calling out Sako in particular because for reasons I know a lot of information that I cannot reveal to anyone, but even the international community knows this man. They know. And that's why when we have people like this, when we have crooks and rogues and thieves managing a whole revolution that is spilling blood, when we have people like this man managing, carrying the face of this revolution, then we don't. They say, show me who represents you, and I'll tell you who you are, right? So we have a crook, a thief, an embezzler representing us, and we're sitting here trying to make excuses. We have our people dying every day, and we sit here trying to make excuses. No, I'm not. My sister, I used to think like you. I used to think we can function with Sako in this revolution. My sister, we can't. Because Sako is equally part of the face of this revolution. And I understand that there are other bad fruits and bad seeds. But I would tell you that they are not as bad as Sako. I'm serious. Anyone who eats the blood, who eats the money in this revolution, who can afford to sit and be lazy. I am a woman, but even in sick bed, I go to work, I hustle, I firm, and pay for this revolution, and pay my dues. Has my Country Sunday or my Country Sunday contributions going on. Do you know why so many people have not been contributing towards this revolution anymore? I'm so reluctant. It is because of Sako. Do you know why the international community has muted to a larger extent? Because of Sako. Do you know why most of our fighters have been killed, blood spilled? Because of Sako. Do you know why we don't have money in Ground Zero today? Because of Sako. So tell me, give me reasons why we should even condone Sako supporters in this revolution. We can do without them. And I'll tell you that. Yes, we can. Thank you. I yield. I'm so angry.
Thank you, Comrade Vivian. And yeah, go ahead, Edmond. Sorry.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I really get my sister, and I get why you're angry with my sister here. I think that we all agree that anybody, that anybody has caused anyone to die in this revolution, and by doing so through action or inaction, especially the people who call themselves quote-unquote leaders, and I keep using this word call themselves because they are not leaders. If those people, if you can take the people's money and put it in your pocket, or maybe actually preside over the most corrupt, most inept organization that even your own people, even your own self-appointed auditors come out and simply just tell you that of 800 and something thousand money collected, dollars collected in the war, they couldn't actually even be able to, account for more than 300,000. You can do that. The buck stops with the president. The buck stops with the head. The buck stops with the CEO of the company. And so you have to know. But the problem is that what I was actually saying, I keep saying is that if these people are not going to go voluntarily, these people are going to be forced to go. But bananas from the monkey and give it to the chimpanzee or vice versa. You must also really make sure that the institutions that actually created them, that actually allow these people to come up and strive and say and perpetrate themselves in, that allows them to appropriate our revolution. That those institutions are either completely reformed or, you know, come down. So that's the problem. And I mean, that's the issue. I don't want us to really just go, if you just cause, you know, the global, let's see, what my brother Charles was asking. Let's say you get somebody now and they say, okay, give me 100,000 or give me $200,000 and we say, okay, we contribute that money and give him maybe like after was mentioned, give him a job. The next person is going to come and do the same thing. I guess that's really where I don't want us to just stop by and this person circle. I want us to go beyond that and look at the institutions that are actually costing to be able to even have not only get to the helm of the revolution but continue to be there. But I also just want us to really think that there are many people on that camp, in that camp, who actually fought wrongly or rightly. It's done now for something, none of them wrongly. So the institutions that they were supporting, that particular institution that they were supporting, they believe that they could use it for something. There were good people on that side. And we need to be able to move out and be able to like weed out those people, the good ones who actually got deceived. And, you know, cause the other people actually are ready to peace for the blood of our people to go. You know, we're not asking them to go, we're causing them to go. And the way that you cause them to go is by producing institutions, getting those structures around that would actually give them no other option but to go, but to leave. And they're not going to leave. I'm just telling you that. Let's be very honest. They're not going to leave. You ask them to. And you let them go from, oh, maybe the Monday actually getting some, I don't know whether they would like it as lawyers or career lawyers, to really go back and then to carve out the Constitution and say they were amending the Constitution. And by the way, the justification why somebody and individual should put themselves in power until we put on a put get to. I mean, here is a situation where we got to do it like that. But Sako's problem, I keep saying, he is not the only person, and the other organizations also have their own problem. Let's explain this, let's look at this, and let's come up with the situations. I hear you, my sister, and I hear I'm as angry as you are, but I want to go deeper and look at the deeper and look at the deeper fundamental structural feelings that have actually caused this to happen.
Thank you, Dr. Edmond. To your point, I think that in 2022, we can begin to put those structures in place. I can tell our sister Vivian that we, the people of Southern Cameroons, or some of us, are the people who are still making Sako relevant. We saw the document from the British that actually described him as a conman. We know that in the US State Department, he cannot go 1,000 feet. Nobody there wants to talk to him. They know he's very dishonest, very disingenuous. They have all the information about him. So these countries in Germany, they know. So the people we are talking to, the people who want to take us seriously, have already counted him out officially, not something that they're talking behind. We saw the document from the UK. It is official. If you go to the State Department, they will tell you they don't even want to hear about him. It is official. So why do we continue to think that we can get the international community to listen to us when we are holding on to somebody that they have told us they don't want to have anything to do with, or they don't even want to talk about? So it is us holding on to this thing or this person who is forcing himself on us, backed by La République. He is getting a lot of money from La République to keep being in our face, and we have refused to turn the other way. We should just walk away from him. The British will not talk to him, the Germans will not talk to him, the Americans will not talk to him. So why are we not spending our time and our energy around the people who have access to the State Department, to the US Congress, to the British Parliament, and to the German Parliament? Why are we even talking about him? Let us leave those people who came to the diaspora to go to school, work, and pay for a jobless person's livelihood, and let it be their problem. We have the CSOs that are doing a good job on the humanitarian front. They will be preparing their annual report to show the people of Southern Cameroons what they have done and where their money has gone. That is one institution we can rally around. We have the campaign for release our prisoners, who are now making contacts with international media houses. We should take advantage of that, and as Dr. Edmond was saying, build a communication team to take advantage of that network. We have the fighters who are trying to organize themselves. It is difficult, there is distraction, but if we begin to put our donations into a new source that is dealing directly with the fighters, no political middlemen, then we will begin to build the defense infrastructure. And then there are people who are working on the diplomatic side. We identify them and we put our efforts and our resources behind them. As I said, all these guys who are trying to be big men on campus, all of them, without exception, their tents are shrinking. There is none of those groups that can tell you that from when they started to today, they are expanding and they are getting new members and they're getting new support and they're getting more inflow of cash. None of them. They are shrinking. And just like a tumor, Dr. Folefak is an oncologist, he will tell you, when those things start shrinking, they just shrink and shrink and shrink and shrink and die off. And that's how patients survive. So let's just keep what we are doing. They are shrinking, and by God's grace, by 2022, they will just die a natural death.
Maybe other practical steps, Pato, like I know many of us here have contacts, and some of us have contacts with other people, with some people who were affiliated with the circles, and who have appropriated what is now called the county by county, a structure that was originally well conceived, not by him anyway, but like the thought about it was to raise funds. We should go back and estimate and talk to the people, the individual people in this group, from even your locality, whether it is your locality as where you live, for the people who live in Germany, for the people who live in Ohio, here like myself, or in Boston, or in the place. Talk to the other people. Let us find a way to bridge this gap. Estimate the people who are not really this hard-headed criminals, have really make a butchery of their conscience and no longer actually care about the people of those people are meant. Take them, get those people, and let us begin to rebuild. I want us, by the time it is March or April, I want to be able to see the North and the Southeast stronger. Not thinking I want to be able to see my own, area of Boston stronger. I want to see an Amazonia, grouping in say Dallas, Houston, Texas, that whole area. And we want to see Columbus also, and Midwest also stronger, and many other places. We want to see this, so that at the end of the day, maybe by next conference or maybe 3 months from now, we should be getting report from these different groups. And that's how we begin to actually really build. I think there's so many things I want to talk about this, but then the other thing that really needs to happen is for everybody who has a relationship with any of the young men and women fighting on the ground, just let them know how risky it is for anybody to actually cast their lots with the charlatans from outside, from the diaspora. And let them know that demonstrate if you're from Tokuto, and from or from wherever, that person is your brother, that person is your sister. It doesn't really matter who they fight for, as long as you people actually can. You should uncover yourself, consider yourself from politics. Fighting military men never are politicians. That's superior. That is our goal, and we would then need to come up with documents, probably code of conduct or maybe rules of engagement. That would be something that is common to many of these people, I mean to all the groups in Amazonia. These are the things that we can do. And we don't really need many men. Just okay, go back and see what Fidel Castro said. Fidel Castro started the revolution with 5 men. And long after somebody asked him, the journalist asked him, I think it was Reuters, asked him what could he have done differently. And he said, the only thing he could have done differently was to go back to what I mean to start with. Maybe 10 to 15 men or 15 people. You know, because sometimes some people are just dead weights. And we don't need that. Either here or on in the ground. There are so many things, there are so many evil tales to tell, you know, about our revolution, but there are so many heroic things to tell. And our people just need a few of the good people who are here just need to come back and try and think. I see somebody that they covered about putting out about, you know, getting constituting the body to start thinking about this thing so that we can have a structure. And mostly people say you cannot have a revolution without a revolutionary theory, without revolutionary philosophy and things like that. We must think, and the thinking is the reflection and the action, which some would call the praxis. This is what is going to get us out of this darkness. Thank you.
So I think Comrade Val is right. We would try to, probably by next town hall, identify. We've identified a very good humanitarian structure. We are still trying to get the fighters' house properly constituted. Like everybody, when I say body, I mean every organization, everything. There are some elements, you want to call them bad elements, you want to call them bad apples, that need to be checked. So that we have to work through that. I know some people will say, well, there are some fighters who are this, who are that. Yes, some of these guys are not professional fighters. Some of them may have had criminal pasts, just picking up guns, and we cannot shake that off. But like Dr. Edmond said, there are still some heroic people in there we need to support. But we cannot only talk, we have to support these structures when they come up so that we can move away from these con men and gamesmen and manipulations and lies, because people want to push one group or push one individual or want to make themselves bigger than the struggle itself. And to that end, we are calling on Southern Cameroonians. Everybody says support the fighters, but when it comes to actually dipping our hands into our pockets, making the sacrifice, people just disappear. Now, the fight is not going to fund itself. It was Christmas, it was holidays for a lot of us, but for the fighters, their lives were still on the line. For the fighters, they were still in the bushes. You know, for the fighters, they were still taking bullets. We saw what happened in Chomba. We saw what happened in Gomdam. That was not out of holiday season. You know, that was Christmas, that was New Year. The fighting is continuing. We know that the Confederation is coming. Whether they succeed or not, we know that there's a lot of foreign media already in Cameroon. We need to take advantage, both with this freedom campaign and with our boys on the ground, so that our story is told. This is a golden opportunity. Paul Biya is bringing this thing to use the international media to give the impression that all is well in Cameroon. It is our opportunity to tell the same media that all is not well in Cameroon. And it won't take us much to send that message. Our boys can send that message in 1 or 2 events, but it has to have the weight, and they need our help, they need our support. So we are appealing on behalf of the fighters that let us now direct our financial support to a more transparent structure with the consent of the fighters, with the fighters being part of the disbursement, the fighters aware of what is coming in, and the fighters reporting to the people of Southern Cameroons. So the moment the fighters will come in and say, we did not see that money, the people of Southern Cameroons will know, will not be hearing about it 2-3 years down the line. Yes.
Yeah, just I know you and me have been on several programs that talk about this transparency, and then you get some people come back and say, oh, by the way, transparency is incompatible with war and stuff like that. We just have to make clear that when we talk about transparency here, we're not saying that if you buy a stick or you buy this or you buy that, but let's say we come out and say you donate the money, and we say X amount where you do that, we must be able to come and incorporate with the to confirm from the people from Commemoration that the farmers from Commemoration that they receive the money.
Exactly.
And that is the most important thing that when, as you say, as they say they receive the money, then there is always the possibility to be able to get one person, as we're talking about people that are in defense. Those people, a part of the thing was for their defense. Those people in defense, it is their duty. They'll be the people who come and actually ensure, and work with them to make sure that whatever was actually put in place was utilized. And if it is for their feeding or their upkeep, or if it's for their health needs, or for the health needs, we make sure so that the money actually doesn't get there and also get one strong man who takes the money and put it in his pocket or her pocket, and then while the other people lack it. So that's what we're talking about transparency. It doesn't mean that you come and then tell us everything that you do. None of us cares about that. We care about our people being able to defend themselves and be alive and not causing our people any more harm than it is necessary. So let's make that very clear so that any person who tells you that transparency is incompatible with war is a crook.
Exactly. Well said, Dr. Edmond. That's the point. When we raise the money, the fighters will say, yes, we receive money. We don't need to know those some of those details are strategic information. We don't need to know that they bought, a bucket of granite and there were X number of granites in the bucket, or they bought, X number of sticks. Those who have not received money are not coming back and telling us they did not receive $50,000 or $100,000. They're just saying they didn't receive money. Some of those things, yeah, you're right, Dr. Edmond. You've put it very well. So that is telling us that instead of the numbers, like some people have tried to use the numbers, we should use the dollar and the tag, the hashtag, which is Southern Cameroons, SC with the $sign, and for the PayPal, admin@darkcommunity.org. They are still working on the platform. You can go to the website, or you can just, because some people say, all the registration and going through all that, they just want to make their donations. When you make your donations, if you want, you can use WRF, which is War Relief Fund, so they know exactly what it is for, the WRF. They are still building this platform. They will make it more user-friendly. It would officially be rolled out, but right now they can receive money. And we are going to prepare a list for those who want to be on the list of donors of Southern Cameroonians. It's not about how much you donate. It's just about being a donor. Some people want the acknowledgement, and we want to acknowledge people. Some people do not want to be there. If you don't want to be there, we will not put you there. If you don't take yourself out, we want Southern Cameroonians to be appreciated. Those who are making the sacrifice to be appreciated, and it is something for them to be proud of. So that's what we want to do, so that we can end this politicization of our military, where people are giving money to groups. Those groups and individuals have their own agenda, and they who are beneficiaries of Southern Cameroonians' hard work turn around, make themselves benefactors, and begin to pick and choose who gets the support, who doesn't get it. Force our fighters to make videos, send to them, hailing them, putting logos on videos. That's not what those fighters are there for. That's not what we should be having our children put their lives on the line for. Doing stupid, risky videos and putting logos and filling the airways with commentary that has nothing to do with what they have decided to put their lives on the line for. We need to start 2022 on a new page, and we have to do that as Southern Cameroonians. So please let us share this information. Let us share this Zelle, Cash App, and PayPal. And again, there is also the website. Those who want to go on the dark website, you can do that. Those who just want to make a donation directly, remember to use the code WRF, the War Relief Fund, and it is going to help our fighters on the ground. The people of Southern Cameroons need to help our fighters directly so that we don't come back here in 2023 talking about circles or this or that. We can talk directly with our generals and commanders. So the floor is open. If anybody else has something they want us to discuss as part of the town hall, we can do that. Again, remember 2022, January 22nd will be dedicated for the most part to the launch of the Global Freedom campaign, Release Them campaign, sorry. That will be the next town hall that is dedicated to this launch. We would have some surprise guests, some international figures. So we just want our people to come and support this campaign. Like Yia said, we will try to raise some money during that campaign to support our prisoners who are now being pushed to very, very remote prisons because the main prisons in New Bel, in Kondengi, in Boya, Bamenda, Kumba are already beyond capacity. So they are beginning to go to Balmayo, Yoko, and possibly from what we hear, some maybe in the north, in the prisons in Kuseri. So, not Kuseri, what is that place in the north? There is that famous prison in northern Cameroon. I remember the name some other time. So that will be, and then tomorrow town hall hour will be back at 2 p.m. or 8 p.m. Amber time. Will be town hall hour. We also took a break from the holidays. We'll be back tomorrow. And I think that's about it. Secretariat, are we missing anything?
I think we're just about done. Somebody done.
Okay. Okay, we can leave that open after we officially close. And we want to again thank our dear sister. The name Amli is easiest for me. I don't see her, maybe she left. But oh, she's there, yes. Can you show us your face again?
Yeah, he's there. It's online.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
Alright,
Thank you. That beautiful smile. Thank you. We really, really want to support you. We want to thank you. We want to appreciate you. The world needs to know you better. And we as your brothers and your sisters, we want to lift you. We really, really want to lift you and thank you. And we look forward to the 22nd to hear that voice again. God gave it to you. Take care of it. I don't know if you drink honey. What's your secret to keep that throat clear?
The secret is in the breathing control.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll
Actually, I left that from your.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
On YouTube, just watching her, or does she have a class or something?
From when I was little, I started watching how she sang, how she And then I started doing another series. And then I started doing lessons with my mother.
Oh, great. Great. We are so proud of you.
I wish I was as smart as you. I would have just taken lessons from my mother.
Edmond, don't even try to sing. You make everybody run out of church.
Yeah, that's for me, it's like, it treats me okay. Like, have you ever tried to teach how to sing? And they want to sing.
That's not true. Actually, everyone can sing. Actually,
Oh, really?
yeah.
My problem has been holding a note. I cannot hold a note for more than 2 seconds.
Yeah, maybe the wrong kind of thing you want to do. Everyone can do that. Some people sing very crash voice because it's kind of song.
Man, like, you love the barrier.
Yes. Yes, he had that hoarse voice.
Yes. The guy's voice, I'm sure that if somebody would ever have said that you would be a singer, everybody would have said, no, I thought you sing so I can sing about my music process.
No,
Yeah.
keep your day job.
Release my album the next.
So thank you. So let me have your name correct. Is that Mbonge?
No, it's Mongo.
Mbonge? Bengemba way.
Yeah, it's just Mugaka.
Oh, Mungaka.
What does it
Oh,
mean?
Bali.
It means I'm innocent. My hands are clean.
Bongo.
Yeah.
Bongo.
That's Mugaka. And then Amwe is one from it's called Meka from that
Okay.
area.
Okay.
In Bama, that meaning would have been almost sounding like I've done it.
Wow.
Yeah. That's very close to what it would be. I've done
Yeah. Bongo means my hands are empty. I did nothing
Bongo.
wrong.
Thank you, sis. Thank you so much, and God bless you. Do you have, for us to close? Do you have anything for us?
For Mojambique.
Oh yes. Oh no, the Umojami platform where they are promoting Southern Cameroon artists and selling their music and stuff. So she said that Umojami would like to talk to you.
Okay, that is well. Thank
Yes.
you.
Okay.
That is well. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
To ask you something, I have to.
No, that's fine. I don't want to put you on the spot. That's fine.
Okay, no, it is well. It is well. I'm always fine.
Okay.
It's not okay. I think for those, I was seeing one last song and the song that, my favorite is, it impacted me so much because she was telling me a story about a mother who died close to the water. And again, it's because of the suffering that suffer. I'm really looking forward to the time that Africa will stop having this disease. This song is for Sango.
Recording in progress.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Next time you will give me one of my favorites is the Bufanko. Yes, next time, not now, next time. Thank you so much, sister. Thank you. So if the secretariat is okay, I think we will call on anybody to officially declare this town hall closed, adjourned to January 22nd.
Please, may I say something to Mbonga?
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Thank you so much, Arlene. Thank you. You coincidentally have the same name with my niece, who's here. So I can't thank you enough. That thinking suits my heart. It calmed me down quite a lot, and I've listened so much to your songs. And one more song I just want you to recreate, which I love so much. The South African song is What Have We Done? That song just it kills me when I hear it. So if we can recreate that song and make it suit our pride, that will really be nice. Thank you so much. I love your voice. It's just so soothing and so comforting. Thank you, dear. And I love you. Keep up the great work. Praying for you. Praying that your voice becomes that Miriam Makeba voice that breaks through hardened hearts, and that puts us through to where we're heading. That takes us to freedom and to the land of milk and honey. Thank you so much. I'm praying for you. And be careful, please.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Is there anybody else who has anything to say before we go off the air? Okay, so if somebody could please move a motion for us to officially adjourn this edition of the Southern Cameroons International Town Hall, please. We just need a motion, please. Anybody? Dr. Foster, you have been quiet, so I'll put you in the spot.
Yes, sir. When you say you put me in the spot,
You either say something or you officially adjourn the 52nd edition.
I feel comfortable saying something.
Okay, go ahead. And then adjourn.
Brothers and sisters, happy New Year. Welcome to 2022. That is that sister. And minimize the suffering of our people and give them breath of fresh air in their heart of their faith. From the prisons in Moya to the dungeons of Potiki, from the lives lost in Kondo City, the children brutally murdered on Valentine's Day in Jabu. We stand together in suffering because right now we're falling together so we can rise together. Your voice suits the beaten and broken hearts
Recording
of
stopped.
thousand Cameroons. Listening to Professor Adam Wade, we are once more heartbroken by the pain and suffering subjected to fellow Southern Cameroons. Eloquently talked about the Beran time, historical difficult, the Penteres, the Chief Monument, the mighty Beats, those that are physically in prison in our movement, and those that are in prison in the diaspora. We think of honorable people. We think of all every one of you who is here today after answered why I enjoy life today with suffering about you. Why are you in this struggle? Why are you on the fence when I doesn't want Mama is burned alive? So why are you doesn't church? Baby Mama is still so home. Why are you doesn't church? Baby Diana is still on her way. Why are you doesn't women pregnant without are killed by the hands of the ministry of Palestine? Why are you not the life of pain and suffering when babies get dead? If you see the example emanating from 2020 from Kuri under the leadership, why are you sitting on the sideline and why aren't we coming together united, putting the flag first so that the pain and the suffering of our people can be done? This town hall was a breath of fresh air because under leadership of Adolf, the discussion and such of all the stuff. Under the discussion of Amaya in charge of the pain and suffering of our people. If you are listening on that night, you will end up like South Cameroon International Town Hall. Right in the searching your country and ask, why are you in the South Cameroon? You want to fight alone, you want to fight with your brother. If you want to fight with your brother, why would you wait for them to when you deserve that much time to fight? Now is the time to give up so we can fight together, so we can bring together. Embrace of Sicily, embrace of Benjamin, embrace of Weber. Singular sound in Cameroon, because that's where the word miracle sound in Cameroon will happen. Thank you so much for this very constructive session. I pray for many more like this, where we focus on the issues that plague our people and ask ourselves what can we do to serve that people. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doctor. And we will need a secondment. Maybe your colleague, where is he, or anybody who wants to second Dr. Foster in officially closing today's session. Thank you, Professor Herman. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Southern Cameroonians. Thank everybody. We will be here on the 22nd for the big global launch. Thank you, our sister Angwi. We cannot have enough. We don't know where you've been hiding, but we found the diamond in the haystack. And we are not letting you go. Thank you so much.
Have you a special invitation for that 22nd, and we would like to have you. We would like to animate that day. We would love your voice to be heard from all angles of the earth, from all cracks and crevices and everywhere. We want to be able to highlight you. We want you to use your beautiful and talented voice to sell our plight, because every voice carries a purpose. And if that was the purpose for your voice, then we are solidly behind you. No matter what it takes, we'll protect you, we will guide you, we will love you, and we're here. Women have a very special role in this revolution that we haven't been playing, and I'm hoping and praying that we women step up and be the leader in every revolution. I used to talk to an Eritrean elderly woman who put me through a lot of the pain that I'm going through now. She already really highlighted what this kind of suffering that our people were going to be going through, and every single thing she told me is coming true. So we need to remember this. We need to know that we women should be the light and the leaders of this movement, of this fight, because we are the ones who born all humanity. We are the ones who carry all humanity in our wombs for 9 months. And if we don't feel this pain, nobody else will. I'm not underestimating our men. I'm just saying that we women need to really carry the torch and be the torch bearers of this, of our pride and the pride of our people at home. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
May I ask you the song you talked about one of the
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank everybody, and see us all on the 22nd. Thank you very much. You're welcome. Yes, Master.
Yes. I'll call you later with the answer.
Okay. 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 Bye bye, everybody. Bye bye. We'll end transmission now.